Here we are today at the Armchair Quarterback, and I'm here with my friend and student, Kyle Rouse, JCA lineman, and we're going to give you a couple of instructional tips on pass rushing. Now, most high school linemen just want a bull rush. That's not the way you get to the passer. The way you get to the passer is as follows, as we're about to demonstrate. Okay, the first rush I want to demonstrate is a bull rush. A bull rush is primarily going to be your main rush, and you set every other pass rush up off of a bull rush. Now, the first thing is stance and alignment. Now, I really don't have time to give you the ins and outs of stance and alignment, but the first thing you want to make sure, if Kyle is my tackle, that you have a balanced stance, a staggered stance. Depending on your responsibility, you either want to line up from the inside eye, or if the guy is a little bit quicker, be a little bit more generous with your alignment. Stagger your feet about 45 degrees. Put enough pressure on your hand so that most of your weight is off of the heels of your feet and on your toes. Upon my takeoff, I'm taking one hard step. Now, a good offensive lineman is either going to show his hands or fire his hands and then recover. So the first thing you want to do is establish contact. Now, when establishing contact in a bull rush, remember this phrase: always rush half a man. Never rush straight up the middle. When a guy bench presses, he's strongest right here, not right here. So you want to attack half a man. As you watch on Kyle, when I'm bull rushing, coming from my stance, my first step, the first thing that comes is my hands. My second step, I'm gathering, and with my third step, I'm locking out and driving my man back toward the quarterback. Now remember, when you bull rush or when you attack any passer, you're going to rush half a man, and your hands should go into this strike zone. Another move that works really well off of the bull rush is called the bull jerk. Now guys, remember, defensive line play is not perfect. It's not pretty. It's upper body violence. So in this case, that's what I want you to be, violent. Now the thing is, in order to execute this move, you're going to have executed a bull rush successfully. That means you cannot lumber off the ball. You've got to come out low, quick, and hard and be violent. Same thing. All these things are universal. Get in a balanced stance, nice stagger, 45 degrees, depending on your comfort level. Weight on the balls of your feet. Same thing as a bull rush. First step, hand. Second step, engage. Now on your third step, normally in a bull rush, you drive him back. But that's not what we're going to do here. I've got my good hand placement. If I bull rushed him successfully, he's going to do what? Sit down in order to gain leverage. At that time, I take his leverage and use it against him. I violently jerk him down. Trust me, I made a good living off of this. Out of a 0-1 technique, I recorded 18 sacks in the NFL. It works every time, but you have to set up one move with the other. The next common move you see in football is a rip move. And it's generally for outside pass rushers, but if you're in a 5 technique, a 3 technique, or even sometimes in a 1 technique, you can utilize this move. The most important thing is you have to rush half a man. There's that phrase again. Now I'm in my balanced stance. Good pad level, hands ready to play. My first step is low and hard. My second step, I'm getting ready to set the rip. My third step, the rip comes in. Now, if you notice, I'm almost hip to hip with Kyle. That's important. I'm not rushing a full man. I'm getting upfield. Now, if you notice, Kyle's backside hand is on my hip. That's what a good offensive lineman is going to do. So in order to thwart that, I have to do 2 things. A, I have to flip my hips, and B, violently check with my rip arm. So we'll walk through that again. First move, it's a short, quick step. My second move is upfield. My third move is a violent rip move. Now, if you notice, I'm almost hip to hip or parallel with Kyle. That's the important thing. That's what gets you around. And you follow through and you run your hips through the quarterback. The second rush I want to simulate comes off of a bull rush, and it's a changeup. It's one of Kyle's favorite moves. It's called a stab and grab. The reason for this is, once again, hand placement is the most important thing when rushing the passer. So now, as I'm in my stance, remember a balanced stance, relax, the weight off the heels of my feet. I'm taking my first step and attacking. But which is longer? 2 arms or 1 arm? So that's the purpose for the stab grab. It's to keep the offensive lineman off of you. Kyle, as an offensive lineman, is going to try to punch me. But if he tries to punch and I stab, I obviously have an advantage. Now his next move is to grab me. What I want you to do on the follow through is take your free arm, which if you're on the left side will be the right hand, and violently take his arm at the wrist off of you and drive him back to the quarterback. Thanks for nice. The one thing I want you to remember that's universal on all these rushes is rush half a man. Never try to bull a man straight through his center of gravity. So I'm stabbing on the inside, I'm grabbing, and I'm running him back to the quarterback, maintaining my outside integrity. Okay, guys, now the next move is one of my favorites. And when you land it, it is an absolute thing of beauty. Reggie White, formerly of the Green Bay Packers, may he rest in peace, made a very good living off this move. And it's a little bit advanced, but if you're starting to understand the importance of hips in a pass rush, you can land this. Now this move is called a hump. And what it is if you've been beating that tackle off the ball the whole game, he's going to start jumping to the outside. So what you're going to want to start doing is, within the framework of your defense, start thinking about going inside. Now, of course, you can jab step and come back inside. But chances are there's going to be a guard waiting to help. So here's a move to thwart that. What you want to do is get in a comfortable stance again, weight on my toes, not my heels. Get ready to come off the ball. Set hit. You're taking a hard step upfield. Now the tackle, most likely because he's been getting beat, is going to jump outside. So then you make it appear as if it's a rip move, and I'm on my second step. Then by your third step, you're coming upfield, you take the rip out, and he thinks you're just going to try to check it, and you come across his body from the backside. Now, obviously, walking through it, it looks pretty. When you do it, it's going to be a little tough. But the main thing you want to emphasize is first step, speed upfield, sell the rip move, and then when you come back around on the hump, that's what it's called, you make sure you get him under the pads and you literally throw him. Now, because he fears the outside, his momentum is going to send him flying.